Boom, a shakalaka boom. You've tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts right now. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm, of course, Clay Edwards, coming at you live in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios here on the WYAB campus. Secure compound, the worldwide headquarters of the FAFO movement. The breaking rules when necessary world headquarters. You name it, this is it. It's a one-stop shop. We've even got sausage and biscuits across the street at the gas station or down the road at Martin's Livingston. You can also get some pork skins there. Hope everybody's doing well. We're streaming worldwide and live. That's right, worldwide and live. At SaveJXN on Facebook, X, and YouTube. At Clay Edwards Show on Rumble. We're in stunning HD. I'm wearing a blue shirt today. If you see blue, that's stunning HD blue. It doesn't even look that good in person. Stunning HD. These intros, man. Today is the 1039th episode of me saying the same thing when I start this show, or some version of it. I have to mix it up a little bit. I have to, what's the old saying? Put a little pig on the lipstick, polish the turd. Just kind of get bored with it. But we're not going to, do away with it. I have been thinking about doing a new intro, like the actual intro to the show. But, man, it's become a bit iconic to the listeners of the show. I don't know if I want to change it. I think maybe it's time to change out some of the clips in it. All those clips were, with the exception of one or two, were done before this was even a radio show. It was done when it was a podcast. So maybe it's time to update it just a little bit. We got a 1,039 episodes worth of me saying crazy stuff that we could probably use to put in some promos for this show. Matt, if you're listening, we need some promos for this show. Advertise it to people who may not know it exists here on the station. Man, I got ate up by ants 2 days ago. Walked out to my garbage cans. And I'm telling you, Waste Management, they must be from Jackson because they hate me. They have broken my garbage cans. They've almost knocked my mailbox off the pole more than once by throwing the garbage cans back at it. This time I believe that they have brought ants over and dumped the ants on my garbage cans. Brother, I picked up one of my garbage cans that had ants all over. I didn't see it. My hand is ate up. You can kind of see it there on the camera. Anyway, it's not serving the purpose I'm trying to get there on the camera, but it is ate up. My ankles are ate up. And I have an infatuation with popping things. Popping ant bites does not seem to have the same return on investment and satisfaction as popping a big old zit. But it ain't from a lack of effort. Anyway, I believe it is causing them to not heal as fast and itch more. So it's just constant suffering that I'm putting myself through with these ant bites I'm dealing with. I think I got 4 on the top of my thumb, right on my knuckle. Then I got another half dozen or so on my right ankle. It hurts. It hurts, boss. I want my mama. Is it my imagination? Do I remember something about when we were kids? If you got bit by ants, put some bleach on it, some Clorox or something like that. I remember getting ate up by fire ants out at my grandmother's house in Florence one time. And maybe her putting me in a bathtub with some bleach in the water or something like that. Was that child abuse or is there something to that? Let me know in the comments there. Greg says, WM is right off 220. I pick those guys up often. Oh, Waste Management? Yep, they're right off 220 for sure. How about some quick good mornings to our early commenters in the live stream? And when we get a few more comments, we'll move the live stream we'll move the chats up to the screen on the show. Greg, good morning. JD, watching on YouTube, says it's racisms. Thank you, JD, for putting the S on the end of racism. Just like Kroger's. An S doesn't belong there, but the people who say it sure do add an S to it. So, hey, I want to have respect for the culture, and I'm going to put an S on the end of it and make it plural too. Donna, watching on Facebook, says she was right for sure. Talking about my grandmother, I assume. Yep. Charles Boykin on Facebook, good morning. Jonathan Barnett says howdy, watching on YouTube. Good morning to Jonathan. Chad Vance, good morning, my brother. Good seeing everybody in there. Christy Triplett, Jason Odom, D. Moore, Donna Evans. All right, that's all. That's it for the good mornings. I don't want to bore the radio audience with it, but I appreciate everybody tuning in. All right, Tavares. You got the last one in when you say it's your favorite show of the day. That is definitely how you get me to acknowledge a comment. Tell me how great I am. I'm waiting on my notes to pull up here. Guys, the Metro Center could actually be getting developed. Could it be? Could the Getro Center be getting redeveloped? What happened to Randy Travis? It was just a couple months ago that we were celebrating Randy Travis Country Truck Stop. Is that not on the table anymore? Or is this in concert with that? The details are a bit sketchy. But what I thought I would do is we will look at the current announcement. There's not much to it. I got to kill that alarm. I set an alarm on my phone for 7:15 to remind me to look at all my saved stories on Instagram because I've been saving a bunch of funny stuff there. But I've been finding other things to talk about. All right, before we get into it, I know you guys are going to want to react. We should have a big audience in this morning. I actually promoted this show, made a thumbnail, a flyer, whatever you want to call it, talking about the Metro Center. That usually leads to a lot of viewers. We're going to talk about some other things, too, today. And I know every time I do this, we end up not talking about these things, but I'm going to try my best. We're going to talk about the Metro Center. We're going to talk about the shiesty mask, the ski mask being banned in Jackson. And as I was getting ready for the show, I heard a guy who I do like a lot making an argument against it, and that's Zach Service. Zach, you're wrong. Don't know any other way to say it. You're 100% wrong. You're trying a little too hard. A little too much pandering on your end there, Zach. Too much pandering. Don't pander. Also, City of Jackson City Council passed another bill toughening up the consequences for illegal dumping, including vehicle seizure and mandatory jail time. Y'all know me. I'm all for it. F around, find out. F around, find out. Keep Jackson beautiful. I ain't your mama. We're going to do some sports stuff today. I told y'all a couple days ago we were going to start inserting more sports into the show, and I meant it. We're going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings. They have 2 new male gay cheerleaders. Are you excited? Trump, big article over on Outkick about Trump saving college sports via executive order, and that being exactly what America needs. Great piece written by Riley Gaines. And then an LSU football player is accused of harboring 2 murder suspects in his dorm. Go Tigers. And then, of course, we got some national stuff I want to hit. It looks like they did a poll, and almost no Americans found the Sydney Sweeney ad offensive, further proving that the internet is not a real place. And just because people are pissed off there doesn't mean they're pissed off in real life. Clay Travis refers to it as a funhouse mirror. I think he said that about a decade ago, and it has proven to be more right than ever. Also, if we have time to get to it, I found a funny story. This lady is a lover of luxury. Maybe that's her name on social media, lover of luxury. And she has social media divided with her diabolical things that she wants in a man list. She's got some crazy demands, folks, and she ain't but about a 6.5 on a good day. We're going to definitely try to get to that. I've got an announcement real quick. We've got multiple new show co-hosts that will be a part of this thing moving forward on different days of the week. Starting Friday, Sean Yurtkaran is back. And next week, I have recruited a new female co-host. We're going to give her a test run next week. More details, stay tuned. But she has been Miss Louisiana. She has competed in the Miss World and the Miss Universe pageants, and she's been on multiple reality TV shows. She's hilarious, and she's beautiful, and it should be easy on the eyes, if nothing else. So stay tuned for that. Looking forward to that, and I'm not going to tell you her name yet. I don't want you haters out there sabotaging things. So we're going to start that next week. We're going to do a lot more pop culture stuff as well, and political, because she is a conservative, so she ain't scared to talk a little trash. And she'll be chiming in from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, via video, and maybe we can get her to come up here and do it live with us sometime. So stay tuned for that. But first, before we get into, we're going to have to take a break, but I got a prayer request this morning. A good friend of mine, and I told him I would keep the identity anonymous until I see her talk about it on social media, but I need my prayer warriors out there. I'm being very, very, very serious. I need my prayer warriors this morning. I know you maybe saw the story yesterday about a juvenile. I hate that word juvenile, unless we're talking about juvenile delinquents. But I know somebody that's a minor. She's a student at MRA, and she got ran over by a car. Yes, ran over by a truck. I'm sure you saw the story. It happened out in Madison, or Ridgeland, should I say, right there in front of the school. Another juvenile, maybe a student at the school, I'm not sure, ran over her. It was not on purpose. I can't imagine. But she's in the hospital, brain swelling. Her mama's there with her. I grew up with her mom. Mom's a close friend of mine, somebody I still talk to on a daily basis and have for years. Please pray for her. If you pray, I'm asking that you please pray for the victim of getting ran over. It wasn't a hit and run, but of a young lady that got ran over yesterday there at MRA. The story's been all over the news. A close friend of mine, I woke up to a text this morning, her telling me about it. She had texted right after I went to bed last night. So, all right, let's take our first break. The Guns and Gear text line is 769-241-1944, 769-241-1944. The Mazda of Jackson phone line, 601-879-0002. Of course, the live chat is always available if you're watching on the stream. And if you want to email me the old-fashioned way, clay@wyab.com. We'll be right back. Get everything kicked off. Let's talk about the Metro to get the show open. Is it a pipe dream or is it reality? A near $1 billion makeover of the Metro possibly happening. I'm going to sound like a hater, but deep down, I hope it's a reality. Why wouldn't I hope it's a reality? But I think I got a better chance of winning the lottery than it being a reality. Let's throw some water on it when we get back. This is the Clay Edwards Show. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB, streaming worldwide at SaveJXN on Facebook, X, and YouTube, and, of course, at Clay Edwards Show on Rumble. And we are also on WYAB.com. If you want to listen to the audio-only version of it there, it is in live time. It's the equivalent of a WYAB app. If you're outside the radio market, you want to listen to myself or our other great hosts here and other great local and national shows, that's it. That's the way to do it. Go to WYAB.com on your phone. Hit listen now, then add to home screen, and boom, you've got a one-touch solution to WYAB at your fingertips. All you got to do is hit it, and it starts playing. There's no rewind or podcast options or nothing like that, so it's literally just a live stream of what's on the radio. But, we are the home on the weekends of all the best NFL games, LSU football, and more. Of course, we have every playoff game and the Super Bowl. We're the only station in town with every playoff game and the Super Bowl on the FM dial. That's WYAB. We ain't even a sports station, and we do sports better than most. Imagine that. This segment brought to you by our friends at Lakeland Glass and Tint. For all your home, car, and business window tinting needs, Lakeland Glass and Tints got you covered. How about the ultimate protection for your vehicle's paint and clear coat? Expel, ceramic coating and paint protection film. They got it, and they get you hooked up with it right there at Lakeland Glass and Tint. Check out the website, lakelandglassandtint.com, for a free quote today. And don't forget their brand new shop located right there on the corner of Highway 80 and Highway 471 in Brandon, Mississippi, right there in downtown Brandon. They're doing automotive glass, windshields, and window tint out of that shop. Windshield repairs, too, and they do not require an appointment. Got a rot peck, need it fixed? As long as it ain't raining outside, swing by, and they'll get you covered. No appointment needed. LakelandGlassandTint.com. All right. The Metro Center is up in the news again. And this time, oh boy, is it up in the news again. Let's talk about it, shall we? A new development proposed for the Metro Center Mall. Now, you got a little story here from Aaron Pickens. It ain't but 42 seconds long. I'm not going to bother pulling that up. Let's just read it here. This is WAPT. Now, as of 10:30 last night, WLBT hadn't even bothered to do a story on this, so that tells you about how serious everybody else is taking this. Slow news day. When the Metro Center makes the news, slow news day. But let's see what they got to say here. Developers from Emerchant Capital have proposed an $875 million mixed-use development for the old Metro Center Mall. The project aims to cover all 70 acres of the West Jackson site using a combination of private equity and public dollars. I mean, that's right. They want some taxpayer funds for this. Chris Jones, not the NFL player, a member of the development team, addressed the Jackson City Council on Tuesday, but was intentionally vague. I bet he was, as the council is still considering the proposal. Oh, come on, computer. They got so many pop-ups on WAPT.com. It's ridiculous. Anyway, quote, "We're here to talk about just positives." Oh, is this a positive solutions only guy? Is this one of Chockway's boys? We're here to talk about the positives. We truly are here to do the work, Jones said. We invite you to check out everything. Kick all the rocks. Jones hopes they receive the green light from the city within the next month. Well, how much money are they asking for on the public side? How much money are they willing to kick in on the private side? Because any swinging beef jerky can go down there and say, all right, man, we got a plan. I just need $875 million to make it happen. You come up with $1 billion, just shy of $1 billion, and we're going to turn this thing around at the Metro Center. I'm going to tell you what, I don't care what you build there. As long as it's still where it's at and the area around it is no better, you're wasting your time. I'd say the only thing that's going to work there, guys, you're going to have to stop with this retail dream of that being a retail space, if that being apartments, that being anything. Now, if you want to do low-income apartments and put a bunch of hood rats over there, sure. I guess that would work. But if you're talking about investing a near $1 billion and it making it being a mixed-use development and having shops where people live, work, play, all that type stuff, as long as it's still in West Jackson, Southwest Jackson, you are wasting everybody's time. You're wasting your money. Ain't happening. Now, Kristen says it needs to be a prison. I agree. I mean, let's stop with this pipe dream. It ain't going to be anything. But let's look back just in the last 5 years now. Let's not forget Miss Sanders that bought the Metro and was going to put an amusement park and high-rise condos out there. That's right, high-rise condos in the Metro Center parking lot. That never happened. Hell, she didn't even get anything open. think maybe a couple little restaurants in the food court open. And the only reason I know that is because I was working across the street there at Watkins at the time when this pipe dream of hers got unhatched. And she got lucky. Boy, did she get lucky. COVID hit, and I think she got a bunch of PPP money. And the Metro never opened. Then, after her losing that whole scam being exposed, remember, it made the news. It went viral. The blacks were so excited. A black woman just bought the largest mall in the South. You couldn't open up social media without the black excellence hashtags, without the black pride hashtags, without Mississippi Oprah. You get a mall, you get a mall, you get a mall, everybody gets a mall. How'd that work out for y'all? Well, anytime they get that excited about something, I know. Just wait. The truth will come out. And boy, it did. Boy, did it come out. Scam artist. Had she been to prison for pulling this exact same kind of hustle a few years prior? Anyway, fast forward to a couple months ago. And country music superstar Randy Travis was going to turn this thing into a redneck version of Buc-ee's. It was going to be a Randy Travis travel center and truck stop, fuel stop. Man, I said it then and I'll say it now. You could give me free gas and I wouldn't stop at the Metro Center to get it. I got word to some people that I know that know Randy Travis's management team. They sent them my video. And my understanding is that deal ain't happening. They crawfished on that deal. I believe that they got sold a pipe dream, a crack dream. Oh, just look at the amount of cars that drive by every day. Hey, all traffic ain't good traffic, bro. Most of the people that pass by there every day would not get off at that exit for free gas. My vehicle could run out of gas on the interstate right there at it, and I would push it back to Rankin County before I stopped to get gas in Jackson. Ain't no way in hell stopping the Metro Center to get gas, turning the Metro Center into a country music truck stop. Who do you think was going to stop there? You hoping to get some tourists coming through? On their way to New Orleans? On their way to Memphis? Somewhere between Birmingham and Atlanta and Dallas? Oh, look, let's stop at the Randy Travis truck stop. I bet they got some Randy Travis bobblehead dolls. But you ain't heard another word about that. Ground never broke. See, ground was already supposed to have broke by now. And then this plan, the fine print matters, the details matter. They said that this was a plan for the whole 70-acre site, which tells me that the Randy Travis plan is off the table. I mean, I appreciate folks constantly giving me good content by these new cockamamie plans for the Metro Center. Oh, let's not forget it. Also, they turned it into a not a movie theater, but a movie production studio. It was also, forgot about that. This may actually be the best one. The movie production studio. And remember, they claimed that the Mexican cartel had Mississippi meth heads stealing all the copper and taking it to Houston, where they were then taking it across the border and they were selling it to the cartels who were then taking it across the border, the copper. Man, you can't make this stuff up. Then the news stations bit hook, line, and sinker and showed all this footage that they had of the so-called copper bandits. That's right, it was the Hells Angels. The Hells Angels were stealing the copper and taking it to Texas and selling it to the cartels. I'm not making this up. You can do a search on WLBT and find it. And they were showing this footage. Well, they were filming some kind of G tier, not A tier, not B tier, not C tier, Z tier streaming TV show there or something or another. And it showed all these guys with guns and all this stuff. They showed this footage and they showed people on the rooftops with the guns and all. The news put this footage out there like this was camera footage of the thieves in action, when it was footage from this made-for-TV series that they were filming there. Anyway, absolute crap show. Hilarious. Another blunder along the way. The movie, I keep wanting to say movie theater. The movie studio, it didn't, Dreamland or whatever they called it. Southern whatever Productions, some long title with a bunch of vowels in it. It didn't survive. The last mayor and the administration, even though most of that Metro Center is privately owned or owned by the state now because of taxes or whatever, I mean, they'll just let anybody with a pipe dream have the keys to that place now, I guess. It's like, oh, you want to do this? Here's the keys. So let me ask y'all this. What do y'all think should happen with the Metro Center? Apparently, it's too expensive to just tear down. That's what really needs to happen. Just bulldoze it. Let the grass grow. That's what Jack, put some basketball courts there. That's what they keep telling us. Man, if we just had another basketball court, that would keep these kids from killing one another. I don't know. I think basketball courts need to draw a lot of crime. Maybe a bunch of indoor basketball courts. What about some pickleball courts? Put some pickleball courts in there. Get some white folks down there. Let's take a break. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in to the head cracker in charge, the Clay Edwards Show, here live on WYAB in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Guys, you know what time it is. It's time to ask you if you've had your levels checked. I was talking to a girl last night, the one I mentioned a minute ago, that's going to start doing some of these shows with me down in Baton Rouge. And we got talking about testosterone and whatnot, and she's just such a big fan of guys that take testosterone. And most hot chicks are. Need I say more? Get your levels checked. This is Miss Louisiana. Miss World, Miss Universe. She's either been one of them or competed in all of them. Hot chick. Likes guys that does testosterone. Get your levels checked. Free today. Well, get your appointment today. 601-800-5031. 601-800-5031. See, I'm getting choked up talking about them. So dang excited. Change your life today. Man, I see old pictures of me from 3 or 4 years ago and can't believe I was that guy. Versus what I see today. 601-800-5031. Just type my name in the words there, Clay. And boom, off to the races. Champagne wishes and caviar dreams in your future. Hey, look, all joking aside, I'm going to keep this less than 20 or 30 seconds. The physical stuff aside from the testosterone, what it does for your inner drive and your motivation can't be quantified. You just have to experience it to know what I'm talking about. It's like every day, I'm like, what can I do to be better than I was yesterday? What can I do to be better? I'm reading more than I've ever read. I'm working out more than I've ever worked out. I'm pursuing business deals unlike ever. My brain is just working better. And I credit that so much to the testosterone. Now, I'm doing some other things too, supplements and stuff, but still, at the end of the day, the foundation that it's all built on is getting my testosterone levels back right. You're silly. There's no excuse. I don't want to hear about your blood pressure, none of that. That doesn't matter. Your blood pressure has nothing to do with your testosterone. High testosterone don't cause high blood pressure. I mean, talk to your physician, but I'm just telling you. Anyway, Men's Health in Mississippi, 601-800-5031. Text Clay. All right. We got some positive solutions on the text line, on the Guns and Gear text line for the Metro Center Mall. Now, I appreciate everybody chiming in. And y'all know me, I'm going to tell you if I think something's a bad idea. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's a bad idea. Because hashtag positive solutions only. So, somebody said, man, we got a bunch of text. Where did that one go? Hold on. Bear with the brother 1 second. Okay. So, here's what somebody suggested. And look, and I know your heart's in a good place. Your heart is in a good place. You just based on the text you sent, I can tell that you mean well. But they said this. It says, if the Metro has any chance, it would be if my friend Ronnie Crudup Jr. or Richard Bradley of the M-Bar takes it and makes it to be a youth outreach center. Both have great success with the programs. Guys, we've got to quit turning things into youth outreach centers. We got to start turning things into jails. We need more jails, not youth outreach centers. Now, look, speaking of Richard Bradley, I ran into Richard Bradley at the Neshoba County Fair. I'm glad you sent that text. I actually put his card in my wallet so I wouldn't lose it. I got to call Richard. He's going to be a guest on the show here soon. And me and Richard go way back to my nightclub days. So I'm actually looking forward to having Richard on the show. And he is doing some good stuff out there. And I know that me and other hosts at this radio station are giving the M-Bar hell because of the murders and stuff that have happened there. But Richard is a good guy. And you can't always blame these folks behaving badly on the bar owner. Though, I never had a shooting or stabbing at any of mine. But the times have changed a lot, too. I had the last generation of folks half-ass acting decent. He don't. These folks today ain't right. We had security that actually cared. I don't know about his. I'm not saying they don't. But, man, it's tough. It's tough. But we're going to have Richard on the show soon. That's a promise. I'm going to call him today. And didn't Ronnie Crudup and them, didn't they just turn the old Sam's Club into a big youth outreach thing over there in South Jackson? All them indoor basketball courts? So you got that already in the area, is my point. Let's read some more of your text. I just wanted to mention that. I'm kind of youth outreached out. I think we need more prisons. Let's see here. Same person says, I'm exactly the one that had been saying for years about making it a prison. My opinion of my friends for youth center was a positive. I get what you're saying, brother. I get it. Unknown John on the Guns and Gear text line says, turn it into a solar farm, and then says youth need to be sent to military. Yeah, well, some youth need to be sent to military. Some need to be sent to prison. I think some crimes are too egregious, and some cultures are just a little too rotten. I don't think that you should be able to avoid prison. You should be able to avoid a felony prison stint because you decided to go to join the military. I think some things are too egregious. What did Reagan can say? Reagan can. You must be doing voice to talk. He says, my goodness, Reagan, I can't read all that, brother. I'm just going to pick one to start. Because Metro should be an event hall on one end. On the weekends, JPS should purchase it and move all of its offices, departments down there. Imagine if everything except schools was in the Metro Center. Long term, this would save money. Central office, transportation, vehicle services center, exceptional education, perfect spot for tutorial after school. You know, there's a lot of talk on these charter schools. I think these charter schools, if some aspect of school choice passes, I think a charter school there at the Metro Center would be the best bet for a large portion of it. Then you could use the food court to feed the kids, give them some kind of vouchers, or I don't know, just make their parents have to pay for the food. But the cafeteria could be the food court. I mean, you're going to have to think big on this thing. Like, here's what I say you turn it into. A damn casino. A huge resort casino. It's going to, if you're talking about retail, that's what you got to be looking at. What it needs to be, this is what I meant to say in the first segment, other than a jail, Amazon distribution hub. Something along those lines that forces people to come there to work, and they got to do business around there. Then, if you got 1,000 people or more working there, doing the packaging and all that stuff, those people got to eat. Those people got to get gas. Those people got to do things. You start building out around it. You have a heavy police presence over there. You make those people feel safe. Then people want to live a little closer to where they work. The neighborhoods, the rental houses. You start getting decent landlords, fixing them up. Renting to decent people that got jobs, not Section 8 freeloaders. That's how you're going to have to fix that area over there, in my humble opinion. And it still is only going to be so, air quotes, fixable. But at least you start catering to the middle class somewhat over there. And people having to go over there to work. I think that's the only way you're going to get people there, is if that's where they got to go to make their money. And then you try to keep them safe and make them safe spending their money in that area on little stuff like gas, restaurants, maybe a clothing store here and there. I think that's the only thing sustainable that works. Let's take a break. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. Welcome back in. Guys, we got about a minute here. Online audience, I'm going to stay with y'all during the commercial break so y'all don't go anywhere. No commercial screen for you. Radio audience, we're going to shift gears when we come back. We've had fun with the Metro Center. I got some other topics I want to hit, including the shiesty mask or no more. And if you come to Jackson and you litter, you illegally dump, they're seizing your vehicle. But wait, there's more. Mandatory jail time. I like it. That's how you start proving a point. You have to make some examples out of people. Period. I love the fact they put up some deer hunting cameras at these dump sites, and we're catching people doing it. The last administration would have never done that. So kudos to John Horn and JPD. Sometimes it's just the simple things. Is all it takes. Sometimes it's the simple things. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Let's get off into your comments here. I appreciate everybody this morning. Appreciate y'all's patience. And hadn't read your comments here in a minute. All right, man. Let's check it out. Just a Randy Travis themed prison. Stop. I like it. Look, I'm not a Randy Travis fan. I don't like Randy Travis's music. Randy Travis don't have a single damn song I like except that Three Crosses song. 3 Wooden Crosses. You wanna put me in jail and make me suffer? Put on Randy Travis. Put on any of that wangy twangy country. I can't stand it. that twangy country, Randy Travis. Who's that other guy that just Dwight Yoakam? I would rather cause self-harm to myself. I'd rather stick my other hand in a fire ant bed than have to listen to Dwight Yoakam. Ugh, terrible. That's like waterboarding as far as I'm concerned. You ever want me to snitch on whoever I committed a crime with? Lock me in a jail cell and make me listen to Randy Travis or Dwight Yoakam on repeat. I know it's trendy to sit here and pretend that we like both those guys, and I'm sure they are great people, and they're good actors. They're much better actors than they are country singers, that's for sure. I said what I said. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to like something I don't just because it's trendy. Barbershop Bob says, if they turned it into a jail, they'd at least save money on the gas it takes to transport them. Oh, yeah, it'd definitely be close to their communities, for sure. Sonny says a casino, so people who are already getting food stamps and TAMP can spend their money until they're broke. Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with the casino taking EBT, especially if we're going to take that tax money from it and put it back in the community. I'm being facetious. Robert, watching on Facebook, says prison put more law enforcement in the area. Roger. That's him and Greg talking there. Oh, no. Come on, Sonny. You were doing so good. Says turn it into a rehab and homeless shelter. No. We don't need any more rehab and homeless shelters. Those things cost lots of money to operate. And the Metro Center is going to be very, very expensive to operate. Where would the money come from to turn the Metro Center into something that costs money, that doesn't make money? It's got to be something that makes money. We're not going to entertain any community wellness type things. It's got to be something that makes money, except a jail. Now, we could be a private jail, and we could get these judges back to sending these kids to jail instead of probation. They're fired up about. Like, how can we spur more real entrepreneurship? Not just people putting in their bio on social media that they're an entrepreneur. You know, like legitimate, real entrepreneurship. You know, like what I do, for example. And I don't mean the radio side, but like selling the T-shirts. People love that stuff when I set up and sell it. But I don't have a whole lot of places I can go set up and sell it at. But if I could rent a space on the weekends where there's a lot of people walking around doing shopping with other vendors like that, like a market, and I got a chance to get my product in front of people, like at the wildlife extravaganza, dude, my stuff does well, but I don't do well enough to go set up and do a whole store of FAFO products. You know, Bo Bounds tried that with the Y'all Lifestyle. You know, I don't think it was quite the market there that he thought it was or thought it would be. And I'm not hating on him at all. I thought it was a great idea. I love entrepreneurship. I just don't think he had quite enough cachet product-wise, you know, for people to go in and say, you know, the Y'all Lifestyle. I just think it works better online or in, like, flea markets and boutique markets and stuff like that. But, yeah, something like that, well, would work very well, especially somewhere like Jackson where there's a lot of entrepreneurs on the come-up. All right, we're getting ready to come back from break. I got to shut up. Boom goes La Dynamite. It's hour 2 of the most incendiary show on the RADIO. Clay Spelled Radio. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here on 103.9 FM, streaming worldwide at Save JXN on Facebook, X, YouTube, and at Clay Edwards Show on Rumble. Make sure you follow me on social media at Save JXN and at Clay Edwards Show on TikTok, Instagram, and X. You'll find it. Just search it. It's there. At Clay Edwards Show on Instagram and TikTok are exclusively, for the most part, 90% exclusively clips of this show and reels strictly from the radio show. At SaveJXN on Instagram and TikTok are custom-made reels, throughout the day with breaking news and stories and me just doing rants. So it is two completely different types of content on the two different handles, at Clay Edwards Show, at SaveJXN. Just FYI. So I recommend following them both. And boom. I got all the reels of the Ric Flair interview posted. I think the last couple are posting today. At Clay Edwards Show on Instagram and TikTok. And, of course, all on my Facebook page. Man, those are doing big numbers. I'm shocked. One of those clips is up to almost 100,000 views. Shout out to my friends at Southern Sky Brands for making that happen. Shout out to those folks. Let's see here. What is for lunch today? I want to do a birthday lunch Friday, guys. I know it sounds egotistical or narcissistic to say I want to do a birthday lunch and think that anybody would actually show up. But I do think I want to do a birthday lunch, and I will let y'all know where. Follow me on Facebook. Follow my big Facebook page, the at SaveJXN, and I'll make a post, and you can comment if you want to come, and I'll tell y'all where it's at. I don't think I'm going to do a public announcement about where it's at. We just got too many crazy people out there, unfortunately. Too many crazy people. Now, McBee's is supposed to be calling in and telling me that the Clay Edwards Show special of the day. That's right. We're starting something new with McBee's. And we're going to start offering a discount every day, different from the Blue Plate. They're going to start offering a discount, but you got to go in and tell them you heard it on the Clay Edwards Show. And it's going to be the Clay Edwards Show meal of the day. So we'll be telling you more about that today as soon as Michael calls in. We're excited about that. I'm really excited. I love when these sponsors get engaged and they take advantage of. And it gives them a way to track and see just how well this show works for their advertising. So excited about that. My favorite meal at McBee's, Michael just asked me. My favorite meal at McBee's, as of right now, is the red beans and rice and sausage. Now, the club sandwich is a damn close second. It's really flip a coin. Depends on what I'm in the mood for that day. But the red beans and rice with country pleasing sausage from McBee's might be my favorite meal on their menu. And that's crazy, too. If y'all know me, I'm not a big red beans and rice guy. I like it. I don't love it. It's like I don't leave the house. I'm the same way with fried catfish. I don't dislike it. If you put a plate of fried catfish in front of me, I'll eat the whole thing. Give me that Louisiana hot sauce. That gives me an idea. Let's answer the phone real quick. I think we got Michael calling in. On the Mazda Jackson phone line. Hey, you're on there.
Hey, Clay. What are we talking about today?
Right now, I'm talking about food.
Okay. Well, I heard your advertising. Here's why I asked that. I call in regularly, and I've been the one talking about the solar farm and public service commissioner in those meetings.
Yeah, I saw where they had one yesterday.
My technique is usually to firebomb your show and then get off, and I don't want to do that to you today. So I was actually going to ask permission before that to talk about the results as we see it of the Public Service Commissioner meeting yesterday on that topic.
Let's do this. Let me finish what I'm doing and hit the topics I got scheduled. And if you'll call back do you have time to call back?
Yeah, I'll call you back.
Call back at 8:45.
8:45. I'll see you then.
All right, brother. And I'll give you 5 or 7 minutes there. All right. I appreciate that. But I'm just going to be honest. The solar farm stuff, I 100% support these guys not wanting that solar farm. But it's not in my backyard, so it's just, I'd be lying if I said I'm as passionate as they are about it. But I have no problem sharing my platform to let them voice their displeasure, because this show is the voice of the voiceless, and I have no problem letting them air out their grievances here. Let's take another call on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Hey, you're on there.
Clay, it's Michael from McBee's.
Hey, Michael. I thought that was you calling in on the previous call, but we got you now. I've been teasing it, man. I've been telling folks that we're starting a Clay Edwards Show meal of the day, discount of the day, something like that. And I think you've got something for us.
Well, it's going to be a trial run. Like I asked you earlier about your favorite meal. And since it's the red beans and rice here, what we're going to try today is we're going to put the red beans and rice on the blue plate today. Today only, it's going to be the regular blue plate price, $11.95. You can add a drink for $1, but you got to say, you heard it on the Clay Edwards show, and so we're going to put your favorite meal on blue plate today.
And that is a discount compared to what the red beans and rice normally cost, right, Mike?
It is, yes, sir. So
yeah, adding it to the, and y'all, so I've been asking Michael or suggesting to Michael here for a little while now to add the red beans and rice to the blue plate. I think that it will sell more of them because I think the red beans and rice is as good or better than anybody else's in town that I've ever had. And I don't just throw that around because my credibility and my recommendations are very important to me. So when I tell people stuff like that, I mean it. And I appreciate you adding it to it. So today only, as a trial run, the red beans and rice, you're going to save a couple bucks if you order the red beans and rice, but you got to tell them you heard it on the Clay Edwards show. And who knows, you may see me there eating.
I got to put in a plug. So in our kitchen is a lady named Interim. She's been here for 30 years. She makes the red beans and rice from scratch. We use country pleasing sausage. Man, come give it a try. We'll put a side salad on it for you. You'll love it.
And look, they make their ranch from scratch there too, guys. Y'all know I'm very particular about my ranch dressing. I can't stand ranch out of a bottle. Don't get me wrong. At home, you get some Hidden Valley, something like that. But like at a restaurant, I expect ranch to be made from scratch, and McBee's makes theirs from scratch, and it is oh so good. I pile it on whatever I'm eating. I am my favorite words at a restaurant is extra ranch. And so when you get your salad, get the ranch. Y'all make y'all's comeback too, don't you?
We do, yes, sir.
Yeah, the comeback's great.
We make almost everything in house.
Yep.
Well, we look forward to seeing your listeners. We appreciate the partnership, and thank you a bunch. All right.
Thanks, Michael.
All right,
all right. 11-2, blue plate special. Today's blue plate. If you're not interested in red beans and rice, today's blue plate is pork chop, fried or grilled. And, of course, you can also get hamburger steak, chicken breast, or country fried steak. And today only, red beans and rice with sausage. Save a couple bucks by moving it to the blue plate. I love it. All right. That was the McBee's special of the day. Let's get it back into the show. That's what y'all tuned in for. I know y'all get tired of me plugging things, but there is no show without the sponsors. There is no show without you guys supporting the sponsors. And we try to engage you guys. We try to do things that other radio shows don't always do, what other sponsors don't always do. I tell these sponsors all the time, it's only going to work as good as you are engaged. And they're getting it, and it's working. And we're trying to expand how we do things here because I want these sponsors to do very well, and I want this show is sold out of sponsorship. There is no sponsorship space on this show. I mean, I can always make room for the right sponsor. Don't let me back myself into a corner. If one of the beer companies want to come on here, we can say powered by, fueled by, fill in the blank. So we'll always find room for the right sponsor, but generally speaking, it's sold out right now, and we want to keep it that way. And that's because you guys get out and support these dang sponsors. We ain't had any sponsor turnover in a while. So that's always a great thing. We've actually had sponsors double down and spend more money. It's taken 5 years to get to this point, 1,039 episodes. So it means the world to me that you guys are supporting these sponsors. All right, let's talk about chaos in Jackson. That's what you tuned in for. Shiesty mask. What I'm going to do is we're going to run over on this segment to make up for how much time I did a live read there for y'all. Shiesty mask. That's a ski mask. They have now been banned in Jackson. Let me open up the link here. We're not going to play any videos. This is going to be me reading. Y'all have told me, and I've gone back and I've seen it for myself, that the videos, when we play them, they lag and they skip some on the online. So I'm not going to ruin the content by doing that. So let's read it here. This is over at WLBT. Wearing a mask in the commission of a crime could net a hefty fine from the city of Jackson. What, in the commission of a crime? Hold on. Skirt. Full stop. So the mask makes it worse now? How about just the crime come with some jail time? And how about you just wear a fine? How about wearing a mask be a crime? Let's read this again. Maybe I read it wrong. Wearing a mask in the commission of a crime. No, wearing a mask is the crime, damn it. Not wearing it in the commission of a crime. Wearing the mask is the crime. That's the whole point in this. All right, I'm going to read it, and I'm trying not to have a nervous breakdown. Wearing a mask in the commission of a crime could net a hefty fine from the city of Jackson. On Tuesday, the Jackson City Council approved an ordinance banning people from wearing masks in outdoor public spaces, including public sidewalks, roads, and alleyways. The ordinance was approved on a 7-0 vote and is expected to go into effect immediately upon its passage. The vote comes nearly a month after Interim Police Chief Joseph Wade. What? Joseph Wade's the interim chief? What is going on in Jackson? Is he having to? Is that because of the new mayor that they're calling him interim and he hasn't officially named him chief? How does the chief go from the chief to the interim chief? This pisses me off. Interim chief. How do you expect this man to do his job calling him the interim chief? Now, look, I've given Joseph Wade his fair share of hell here the last couple months because I felt like he was just saying all the right things and wasn't actually doing them. And I'm also going to be the first person to say that I see him actually doing them now. And it was because he had golden handcuffs. Now, I'm not going to apologize for questioning it because I wasn't the only person. I was just one of the only people who would call it out. And other folks here at WYAB as well. And but I am fully in the camp of Joseph Wade is the man for the job. Take that interim tag off of that man. Come on. Sorry. Compose myself. The vote comes nearly a month after interim police chief Joseph Wade proposed the idea, saying he's personally seen males riding bikes with no shirt on, but wearing a shiesty mask. Quote, it's terrifying when you're inside of a business and somebody walks in with a mask on, said Wade. Ward 3 Councilman Stokes says the ordinance could raise some constitutional concerns, but says it's about saving young people's lives. Quote, we've got to save as many of these kids' lives as we can save. And the only way you're going to do it is you've got to let it be known that this is illegal. It's outlawed, he said. Because if you don't do that, the same little kid, 12, is going to put on a mask and try to rob something and get killed. The ordinance was passed out of the council's Public Safety and Parks Committee last week. The measure was introduced at a Tuesday meeting. However, members voted unanimously to suspend the rules and move for its passage. Typically, ordinances are introduced at one meeting and voted on at the following meeting. Ordinances also take 30 days to go into effect unless they are approved on a unanimous vote. The council voted unanimously to suspend the rules and unanimously to approve the measure after about 4 minutes of discussion. Ward 1 Councilman Ashby Foote seconded the measure to suspend the rules, saying the new rules are needed to help identify criminals and hold them accountable. The city has invested a lot of money over the past 10 years in improving technologies and helping fight crime and to identify criminals. And one of the important technologies that's come about in the past several years because of the improvements in facial recognition technology is the ability to identify the people that may be breaking the law, he said. And I think that's directly related to why these masks could be used. It's not because it's cold outside. It's because they're trying to avoid the technology that the city is investing in to help police do their job. See, I told y'all there were future rocket scientists, engineers, and possibly even astronauts. They're smart enough to know that you got to wear a shiesty mask to keep from having your facial recognition software, to keep from having the facial recognition software from reading your identity. But they ain't smart enough to know to not commit the crime. Under the measure, masks include any face coverings, including hoods that hide or conceal a person's face. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Say it for the peoples in the back of the room. These damn kids can't wear their hoodies in the summer no more. Exemptions. There should be no exemptions. Exemptions include children younger than 14 and adults over 60. No, absolutely not. Under 14. And I'm going to tell you why it shouldn't include under 14 here in just a second. Individuals wearing masks for health and safety reasons. Oh, there we go. There it is for the COVIDiots. No, sir, boss. I'm wearing my mask because I'm worried about COVID. Shut up. Individuals wearing masks for holidays or recreational events like trick-or-treating, including wearing masks as part of their trade or employment, and individuals wearing masks for religious reasons. Well, they literally just null and voided the whole damn thing with this one paragraph. Individuals wearing masks for health and safety reasons, BS COVID. Individuals wearing masks for holidays and recreational events like trick-or-treating. Individuals wearing masks as part of their trade or employment. Well, being a thug, robbing, stealing, killing, drug dealing, and illegal dumping is their trade. And individuals wearing masks for religious reasons. I converted to Islam in prison. I got to wear a mask. Anyone found... Oh, here's the other thing. Police also will be unable to stop and detain individuals for solely wearing masks. What the hell? So you can't see somebody breaking the new law and stop them because they're wearing a mask? Police will also be unable to stop or detain individuals for solely wearing masks. This is so stupid. We'll be right back. Idiots. We're not on the radio now. I'm going to say this. Fucking idiots. Idiots. I mean, try to do something right and find a way to fuck it up. What's the point? What is the fucking point if they can't even stop them for wearing a mask? Riding a bike down the road, walking in the gas station, but you can't stop them and say anything if they're wearing a mask, knowing they're breaking the damn law. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB, streaming worldwide at Save JXN on Facebook, X, YouTube, and Rumble. I'm the head cracker in charge. My name is Clay Edwards, and I'm madder than hell after reading that damn definition of reading that full ordinance. That makes zero sense to me. Cut off your nose, spite your face. Jackson, you get what you deserve. New mayor, same Jackson. New mayor, same Jackson. I mean, already starting off with a Metro Center hoax, a toothless ordinance for mask. I mean, make it make sense. Make it make sense. This segment brought to you by our friends over at UrgeVet. Pet emergencies don't wait. Why should you? Why should your pet? UrgeVet Emergency Vets of Madison offers low wait times, cutting-edge technology, and they're here to provide fast and expert care for all your household pets. Located at 15 Olympic Way in Madison, their hours of operation are weeknights, 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. That's why it's an emergency veterinarian clinic, because they're open after hours. And then on weekends and holidays, they're open 24 hours a day. You can reach out to them at 601-790-1918. 601-790-1918. 8, because when it comes to your pet's health, trust the team that's fast, reliable, and compassionate. Urge a Vet, they've been in business for about 5 years now, founded by my good buddy, local veterinarian, Dr. Spencer Mills. Shout out to Spencer, man. I've been running into Spencer a good bit here lately. And general manager, very well respected, Miss Melissa Calmes. It's state-of-the-art. It's fast, reliable. And, again, it's open on all major holidays and 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. during the week. And, again, 24 hours on the weekends. That's Urge a Vet in Madison. All right, let's take a call. I think this might be our fella calling back about something. Let's see, here on the Mazda Jackson phone line. Hey, you're on there.
Hey, Clay. Big Ed here.
Hey, Big Ed.
They ought to revoke all masks, period, because these stupid things people wear to protect them from COVID won't stop the virus.
Oh, it's making them sick anyway from wearing a germ-infested mask that they've touched and all that with their dirty hands. Half these folks, Big Head, they go and use the bathroom. They don't wash their hands. They touching door handles and everything else. It's just nasty. They're just nasty people, and I don't like them.
Well, you know where we live. You know who we got to live with.
Yep.
But no, the only way you're going to protect yourself from that virus is to get you an NBC mask with double canisters.
Look, I'll just deal with the virus. I've had it 3 or 4 times. It is what it is.
Well, there's ways to fight it that you don't have to wear a mask.
Absolutely.
Nicotine. You can get it out of your body. How's the book coming?
Do what?
How's reading my book coming?
Not good. Not good. I haven't been reading. But I'm going to. Hey, everything comes in waves. I started a new challenge. I got to read 10 pages of something nonfiction every day. So I'll get to it.
Well, that's nonfiction.
Yep.
Have a good day, buddy.
Thank you, Big Ed.
Good to listen to you. Bye.
Yep. I'm doing my own version of 75 hard. So it's not really 75 hard, is it? But I am reading 10 pages a day and working out every day. Let's see here. The shiesty, man. Guys, we were going to get to a lot of other stuff. I guess we can. Let's read some of the comments online. See if you guys are as mad as I am. Chad, shout out to my boy Chad, says, guess that answers the question of how mask ordinance passed without opposition. They need to look like they're being productive. Barbershop Bob says, Horn covered his butt on both sides. Yep. Bourbon Diplomacy, still my favorite name on the internet. Says, come on, Clay. I don't think you were clear enough. Tell us how you really feel. Yeah, for those on the radio, I threw an absolute fit when I signed off for the radio. Lots of F-bombs. Jimmy, Clay just blew a gasket like having a blowout from a pothole in Jackson. It just don't make sense to me. It's like you finally did something that came across as good, and then literally in the next sentence, you took all the goodwill right back. I just knew something, and I told y'all, I don't read these articles in advance because I want to be authentic. I want my reaction to be authentic for y'all. Some stuff I have to read in advance, but like these type things, I don't because I need it to be authentic. You would think, we got this crazy person, y'all, that calls this show every day from a private number. And I think it's just to try to jam up the phone line, but she's an idiot and doesn't realize that we have 2 phone lines. But she calls from a private number. I don't know. You would think after the 975th time of trying to call this show and Clay not answering, that she would just call from her phone number. We have her phone number. It's written down right here. We know it. We know who it is. She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Calling from a private number ain't going to get it answered any sooner, I promise. And we know who you are. I have your phone number. It's how I tracked you and found out your identity to begin with. Idiot. Anyway. Steve, watching on X. Did you really think they could pass something without all of that crap in the bill? No. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought they could. I really was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I mean, I was sitting there thinking the whole time, I know they have this new cuck white liberal on the council, this little guy that runs red lights in a minivan that says vote dim or vote blue on the tag. Little skinny, frail, little cuck boy that I know isn't going to do anything that could be deemed tough on black crime because he's way too woke for that. And the fact that he voted for this, I had some apprehension. I'm like, I can't believe that he did something that could be deemed tough on black crime. And that explains why. Because it's actually not tough on black crime. It's not positive for black people. It's not something that can actually save black lives and save black businesses. See, this race stuff, these people who are scared to enforce laws because they think it's racisms, what they don't realize they're doing in these black communities is making it worse on the black people in the community. When you sit here and you play these games, and this is one of the reasons why I'll never move back to Jackson. You play these games of, we need violence interrupters, which I don't have a problem with them. I got some friends that do that, and God bless them, their hearts are in the right place. But they're not as in replacement of police officers. I was listening to a guy the other day. He said there's white people. It's a Chinese guy, and he was talking to white people. He said, white people, places you never want to go, or is any city that has somebody called a violence interrupter or a credible messenger. You don't want to go anywhere that has somebody that has that title. These are very violent places, and they're not safe for white folks. But anyway, circling back to my original point, these people think they're doing all these things to try to help black folks out, because enforcing the law is racisms. So they try to come up with all these new and creative ways to not enforce the damn law. Because they think that the social criminal justice system's been too strong against black people, blah, blah, blah. And I can make some arguments for over sentencing and stuff like that. Sure, we have on this show before. But what they're really doing with this cashless bail, this no cash bail, this catch and release programs, this shiesty mask BS ordinance that's not really an ordinance, is they're making it more dangerous in black communities for, drumroll please, black people. Y'all keep telling me that it's a small clay. It's just the algorithm showing you all these crazy black people, these violent black people, these hood rats. That's just that's not a representation of the majority. That's just a small representation because it's the algorithm. The algorithm's racist. You'll never convince me of that. I lived in Jackson, Mississippi for 45 years. It ain't the algorithm. I'm going to tell you, it ain't the algorithm. Y'all got to start enforcing the laws and saving black lives. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. I mean, I'm telling y'all, the audacity of these people to sit there and tell us that that all the stuff that we see, don't believe your lying eyes, guys. That's not a representation of the majority. It is absolutely a representation of the majority. The ghetto culture, the culture rot is the majority, unfortunately. And until the ones who aren't participating in it start speaking out more against it, they're just as guilty of it, in my opinion. That's why I raise so much hell like I do at them. Because it shouldn't have to be Clay Edwards up here doing all this hell raising and being made to look like being called a racist for telling you the water's wet and the sky's blue. And I want black people to quit committing crimes en masse. I want white people to quit doing it too, but our law enforcement agencies overwhelmingly do their job. Our communities overwhelmingly support sending their asses to jail. For whatever reason, in the black communities, it ain't like that. Why is that? Why does what feels like the majority in black communities support the criminal, not the law enforcement? I'll tell you why. It's because the majority are criminals. I mean, prove me wrong. If you were supporting the criminal and not supporting the consequences, the fucked around and found out part of it, you're as guilty as the criminal. You might as well be wearing the shiesty mask and pulling and committing the armed robbery. I know there's good black folks that aren't participating in this crap. I need y'all to start stepping up and calling these folks out. Not just getting mad when the cops had to kill one of these pookies. Just kind of looking through the comments here. Jimmy, I'm running backwards here, so these are a little older. Jimmy says, so what you're telling me that it's going to be illegal to wear masks, but ATV motorcycle riding is A-OK. I've seen JPD vehicles riding behind an ATV. ATV turns in a neighborhood and JPD vehicle keeps driving straight past. Well, at least they ain't robbing and killing anybody. That's what they tell us, Jimmy. At least they ain't robbing and killing nobody. They just having fun and ain't nothing to do for these kids. They ain't never been nothing to do in Jackson. And we weren't out doing this crap. Jackson's always been boring as hell, unless you found something to do. That's such a lame excuse. All right. Let's see here. Anthony Moore says, a majority of Jacksonians? Fortunately, it is not true. The decent black folks are just indifferent to black plight. Bourbon diplomacy. Weed smoke and window tint. The J-Town way of political theater. All right, I've already read all the comments. All right, about to be coming back from break. Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show here live on WYAB. Real quick, the segment brought to you by our friends over at Burgers, Blues, Barbecue, all three great locations ready to serve you today. Swing by and grab one of their award-winning burgers. My favorite is the bacon jam smash burger, or the grilled chicken sandwich is phenomenal. They don't exactly have it like this on the menu, but I pretty much turn it into a BLT with grilled chicken on their sourdough bun. Bacon, lettuce, tomato, and ranch dressing. They have good ranch at Burgers, Blues, Barbecue. The French fries are fresh cut. The onion rings are hand battered. You can split it and get half onion rings and half fries on your order if you're undecided on which one you want. The comeback dressing is really, really good to dip your onion rings in. The ranch is really good to dip your fries in. I don't know why I'm telling you all this. You already know these things. I'm just reminding you. I'm trying to wet your whistle a little bit here. Get over there today. Try it. Don't forget they got Blue Plate specials 5 days a week. Red beans, rice, and sausage and hamburger steak are available every day as part of the Blue Plate. Then they have an alternating meat as well. And we got a caller on hold. I believe it's our fella that want to talk about the solar farm there in Raymond. But first, I gotta pay the bills. Let me tell you what the alternating meat of the day is real quick, and then we will get to the phone call. Today, Wednesday, August 13th, The special, that's it. Today's the Wednesdays. They don't have a third meat. It's red beans and rice with sausage and hamburger steak with mashed potatoes, corn, and fried okra served with a tea, plus your choice of roll or cornbread. And, of course, the full menu is available. I love the Nashville hot wings. They're smoked, and then they're flash fried right at the end to get them hot for you. And then you put the Nashville hot sauce or whatever flavor you like. Apparently, their lemon pepper is very popular there as well. Apparently, we're living in that lemon pepper times. Lemon pepper, my understanding, is the most popular wing flavor right now. I'm more partial to hot stuff, especially the Nashville hot. Check them out online, burgersblues.com. You can order there and have it delivered all from their website. No need to go to a third-party app anymore. They use local delivery service, Take a Break Deliveries. That's burgersblues.com. All right, man, let's go to the phones. The Mazda of Jackson phone line. Hey, thanks for staying on hold. You're on there.
No problem whatsoever. I wanted to say one thing concerning Jackson. I've been a Jacksonian until about 9 years ago. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I was trying to put another caller on hold. It didn't work.
No problem. But I want to say that I think that the majority of the problem is not the residents there, other than the young ones. I think that the majority of the problem is that being influenced by people like Al Sharpton and other people that's coming out and preaching Black Lives Matter, and as if nobody else's lives matter, I think it's all about that money, all right?
I agree.
And one other thing I would say, they do need to, there are some good people there. There are some people who are afraid to speak out. You said you've been living in Jackson. You have been living in Jackson a while. Over there off of Wood Street, you remember when they had
the Wood Street players?
Guy, right? People were afraid to sleep. Walk out and sit on their porches until what's his name, Frank Milton, came in, and then people were so thankful that he was able to get some control where people were able to come out and sit on their porches and feel that they weren't captives in their own home. But I think that's the main. People are just afraid.
Yeah, sure. No, there's exceptions to every rule. But and I know I speak in generalities, and I do. There are. I'd be foolish if I said otherwise. There's exceptions to every rule when you have somewhere extremely violent like a Wood Street and it's controlled by a gang like that, and people are scared to speak out and scared to talk. And they're senior citizens. You're 100% correct, and I'm glad you brought that up. Again, there's exceptions to every rule, but at some point, people got to get tired of it, and they got to stand up and fight back. And hopefully,
100% right.
Hopefully, they got to take control of their communities. Look, I don't mind doing it. My parents still live in Jackson. I fight this fight because I care. There's other things I could talk about. And I have a little fun with it sometimes too. But at the end of the day, the community's got to get up and want to change. Clay Edwards can get up here and scream it to the top of my lungs every day, and it ain't going to matter. Until the community wants change, there's not going to be change. And hopefully they're fed up. I think it's hit rock bottom. I think it's ready to come up, and you're going to have to bring some people along kicking and screaming with you to make it happen. There's got to be some examples. There's got to be some leadership to say, hey, it's okay to call this out. It's okay to say that this ain't black culture. It's okay to call out the people who have hijacked black culture with this culture right, and call it out.
100%. Please keep speaking the way you have, and maybe somebody, you might be that spark.
I hope so.
People are ready, okay?
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right,
you.
You take care, and God bless.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Hey, you're on there. Hello? Look, that call ran a little longer than I wanted it to. Let's see here. I think we got our guy calling. Hey, you're on there.
Okay.
Hey, you got about? Hey, yeah. Is this my guy from Raymond?
Yes. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Hey, look, we got 2 minutes, man. We ran over with that last call, so try to get as much as you can.
I got it. So I'll consolidate my statements. First, I want to say that the Public Service Commission meeting yesterday was good in that the Keither Stamps conducted it for just the basics of what we've been asking for all along. unlimited time to speak on what we thought were the issues surrounding the solar farm. He was extremely generous. He asked good questions, and you can always tell by somebody's body language whether they're listening or blowing you off. And I just want to say, regardless of how this comes out, from my perspective, I got my chance in front of him to make the things relevant that I thought were relevant, and so did a lot of other people. The other thing I want to say is, and I said this yesterday, I think the real discussion here and the real point is the lack of government policy to govern the implementation of solar farms and data AI centers, because they are linked. There is no separation between the increase of solar farms and the data AI building frenzy that's going nationwide and worldwide. They are linked, and you can't even talk about them separately from a state economic development perspective. The other thing is, I just don't want, we want to take the neighborhood fight out of it from my perspective. As human beings, we always go after folks because that's the blame game. This is not between us and them. This is about policy and money. And I think any of us would be challenged if somebody came to you and said, and these are real numbers, depends on the scale, but if somebody came to you and said, I'm going to pay you anywhere from $15 to $30 million a year just to watch the sun come up every day, and that's literally it. There's no commitment other than the lease agreement. We'd probably all blink and say, let's talk. So I want to be fair, and the fairness issue, I think, comes in is that our government is failing us, our policies are failing us, and the amount of money, Blackstone is one of the major investors, or BlackRock, in this whole endeavor across the world, have said publicly they plan to make more money in 5 years off of power and data than they have in the previous 20 from their entire portfolio. Now, these are people that have a $12 trillion portfolio. You just think about that.
Yeah, all right, brother, we're out of time, man. Call me back tomorrow. We can unpack it again.
All right, I'll pick it up there.
Thank you, brother. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody today. Phone line, of course, blowing up here at the end of the show. That's how it works sometimes. I drop them nukes, and people finally want to reply. We'll be back here tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., doing it all over again. I missed 2/3 of the things I want to talk about today. But it'd be like that sometimes. We go with the hot hand here. We over prep. So I'd much rather, I never want to run out of things to talk about. But sometimes we blow through them quick. Anyway, we didn't today. Metro Center and Shiesty Mask ruled the day. I should have known better. Should have known to tease y'all what I wanted to talk about with other topics. I promise we're going to talk about sports at some point on this show. I did a ton of show prep last night for sports. Anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all be blessed. We're going to come back, land the plane with radio. We ain't going to have about 20 seconds left. Ain't no point in putting y'all on hold just to say goodbye to you. I'll say goodbye now. Thank y'all for tuning in today. Hit that share button. Announcement I want to make as we land the plane for the day. I will start supporting school choice. If that means the rest of us, since we got to take in Jackson students in our communities, can we start voting in Jackson's municipal elections? Can Rankin and Madison County start voting in Jackson's elections if we must take on their kids? I'll see y'all tomorrow.